Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got some huge breaking news for this week, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so Mark has the breaking news regarding Epic Games, so we're going to go ahead and head straight to Mark. Mark, what's going on?
Alright, Al, thanks for that. Yes, we have some huge breaking news with Epic Games. Fortnite no longer on iOS or Google Play. It all stemmed from Apple and Google taking 30% of the profit from all in-game transactions. Now, to get around this, Epic implemented a brand new way of paying. It's still V-Bucks, but instead of $9.99 through iOS or Google Play, it's $7.99 directly to Epic. Now, this caused Apple and Google to remove Fortnite from their stores, which caused Epic to sue Apple and to sue Google. Now, we're not really sure why this happened. PlayStation, Nintendo, and Microsoft all take 30% on their consoles. Whenever it first started breaking, we assumed it was Epic trying to get iOS to buckle and get xCloud onto their iOS platform. However, because Google is also being targeted, we have no idea what's going on. We don't know if it's an xCloud thing. We don't know if it's just Epic being tired of 30%. But if that's the case, why aren't they attacking Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo? It's a little fishy. We still don't know all the details, and it's still developing now, but we'll have to wait to find out. Personally, I think it's them trying to get xCloud on iOS, but only time will tell.
Whew, that's some huge news, Mark. Thanks for that breaking news information. We'll head back to you later on with some more news as well. Let's go ahead and talk about PlayStation a little bit because, we're getting closer and closer to the release of PlayStation 5, as we all know. Now, there's a rumor out there coming from Tidix on Twitter that the PlayStation 5 release date as well as the price are going to be coming, but Sony is reportedly rumored to be waiting until Xbox shows their hand first. Draw. So, industry insider Jeff Grubbs, he also went ahead and said that Xbox is looking to be really heavy with their news information for this month of August, which, as you guys know, later on in the show, we'll be talking a little bit more about Xbox because, well, they've went ahead and produced a lot of news regarding the Xbox Series X for this month as well. So he seems to be right on that. So could it be true that we will finally get to see a release date and a price and pre-order information when it comes to PlayStation 5? It's time! Sony, it's time! Let's see what you got. Show us your hand. When can we get our hands on this bad boy and how much is it going to be? Hopefully we get some information here within the next few weeks. All right, guys, and now let's get into some Spider-Man for PS5 news. Miles Morales. Now there's this new exclusive screenshot from Entertainment Weekly shown right here, as you can see. Looks freaking stellar. Now, as far as the storyline goes for this game, apparently it's going to be taken 1 year after the events of Spider-Man PS4. Also, and additionally, there's going to be Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's going to be a playable character, and Miles Morales Spider-Man as well. So it looks like both storylines are going to be coinciding, just like they did in the first game. If you've completed that, which you should have, both characters are going to be playable here for a brief period of time. Now, there was also a couple videos back, we had a commenter go ahead and gave some insight on what he thinks could be part of the storyline for Miles Morales, and we're going to go ahead and flash that up here and talk about what his comment was here now. All right, now the comment comes from Retro Dude, who commented on a video that we did about 3 weeks ago. Now, it's like a long comment, so bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and read what he thinks here. He says, "Listen, for weeks, I've been trying to speculate the overall plot details of this game, and I think I figured out a lot of the story. I don't have a lot to go off of, but here's what I predict. On a PlayStation blog post by Insomniac, they revealed a lot about the villains he faces," speaking about Miles Morales. It says it's a gang war between an energy corporation and a high-tech criminal organization has broken out, and Miles is in the heart of the battle in Harlem, which was indeed confirmed as well this week. He believes that the energy corporation is Roxxon. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, you guys can go ahead and rip me apart. And the criminal organization is Alchemax. Now, let me explain. Alchemax was, of course, in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and in Spider-Man PS4. And Peter says there's an Alchemax plant in Harlem where Miles is living in the game. Now, back in the 616 comics, Alchemax is ran and operated by no other than Norman Osborn. He could have hired thugs to look for a cure for Harry and gives these thugs Oscorp tech and tells them to find it. I'm sure, one of these thugs, one of these thugs ends up turning out to be Prowler. Maybe Roxanne is looking for the same cure, but I really don't know why. That's what I have for the villains, but here's what I have about the locations in the game. The place where Miles is knocked down and the person with the sword is at the Chrysler building. If you go there in the PS4 game, you can go ahead and boot up the PS4 game and swing on over to the Chrysler building, then you'll see the same spot where Miles Morales was. Now it appears to be free roam, as Miles will be a feature by I'm not exactly sure. Thank you. He goes on and thanks us for the updates. We thank you for the awesome comment, and that's an absolutely fantastic theory. If it ends up coming true, we might have to have you on the show because you're freaking Nostradamus. All right, guys, and now on to some Last of Us Part 2 news. And a new mode has come out for the game called Permadeath mode. And if you're crazy, you'll go ahead and play it. Me? Hell no. Now, this mode, of course, if you die anytime in the game, you could be at the very last stanza of the game, Ellie dies, you're heading all the way back to the beginning of the game. So this is for hardcore Last of Us fans only who know, have like muscle memory of the game. I feel like it would require you to have absolute, multiple playthroughs of this game to know, for sure, what the AI is going to be doing. If you've seen how they're interacting with the environment and they're tracking, hunting you down. This is insane. This is nuts. I think this mode's also going to be super popular for streamers because whenever they go ahead and they react to whenever they die and with their permadeath, it's going to be a freaking raw reaction, especially if they're really, really far into the game. So, something like this is obviously fantastic for them. New modes were added to the game as well. In addition to the perma mode, there was the grounded difficulty, which is just basically a hard as hell mode that was added to the game. And additionally, there's going to be screen filters for the game and also a mirror mode as well. So go ahead, if you're daring enough, check out that permadeath mode for The Last of Us Part 2. Alright guys, and now let's move into a little bit of entertainment news and talk about how my life got flipped turned upside down. I'm talking about the Fresh Prince rebooting into a drama series. That's right, a few years back, there was a YouTuber out there, Morgan Cooper. He went ahead and he did this completely rebranded reboot of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, what it could be like as a drama. It blew up. Will Smith went ahead. He actually interviewed Morgan, talked about it, what he went through as far as filming it and everything, and thought it was a really cool idea. Cool enough, in fact, that it's becoming a show. So there you go. Bel Air is going to be coming into a drama. Will's going to be executive producer of the show, along with Quincy Jones and others as well. Look for the series here sometime, maybe later on in 2021 at some point. I haven't exactly announced when it's going to be, but it's going to be freaking awesome. And speaking of entertainment news, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you head on over to my previous video when we went ahead and reviewed High Score, the Netflix exclusive limited series. I thought it was freaking awesome. Gamers out there are going to absolutely love this series. So, if you're looking for something else to binge watch, you're going to want to make sure you check that out coming next week on August 19th. All right, guys, and now let's get into some Xbox Series X news. But before I do, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe because we do videos like this quite often. Additionally, whenever you want to get notified when a new video is published, make sure you click on the bell. Now, as far as the Xbox Series X news goes, it does look like that Microsoft has indeed confirmed a release window for November. The Xbox Series X will be released in November. Indeed, will be competing directly with Sony with the PlayStation 5, which has a very similar release window as well. If I'm not mistaken, probably is going to be in November too. Now, as far as the games are concerned, Xbox has confirmed that there's going to be over 100 games available on the Xbox Series X. In addition, is going to be available on the xCloud as well at launch for the Xbox Series X. I'm A to the P, Albert Perkins, and now let's swing it on over to Mark, who has some huge Xbox news that broke earlier on this week regarding Halo. Mark?
All right, Al, thanks again for that. As you can see, I'm a huge Xbox fan, but we're going to get into some Halo news. Halo Infinite has been delayed until 2021. Now, you may be upset by this, and as a PlayStation fan, I'm supposed to be excited about this. However, it's probably the best thing that could possibly happen to Halo. The game didn't look that great whenever it was shown off, and it seemed to be lackluster whenever it would be released. The multiplayer would be free to play, still's going to be free to play, but it would be tacked on later. They even talked about maybe even cutting up the story into chapters and releasing chapter by chapter, but ultimately Phil Spencer and the Xbox team and 343 decided against all that, which I definitely think is the right choice. So we'll see in 2021. Probably won't be an Xbox One game anymore, which is also great news for the Xbox Series X. Gives me more reason to buy that. Before, I was just going to play it on my Xbox One, and that was going to be it. But we'll see. All right, now going on to some DualSense news. There's been some leaks online, some new photos on Twitter that were picked up by WCCFtech.com, and it shows that the DualSense has a new battery in it that over at PSU.com has been confirmed to give it 50% more battery life. The battery that's inside of it is a 1,560 milliamp or MA powered battery. This not only will make it charge faster, but keep a longer battery life. And since it doesn't have a light bar like the DualShock 4, it seems like the DualSense has double the power and double the capacity than the DualShock 4, which is gonna make gaming a lot easier. All right, this last bit of news is coming straight from IGN, and it's a little bit of a fun one. The last remaining Blockbuster video in America and in the world has been turned into not only Blockbuster, but an Airbnb. That's right, if you have nostalgic for the 90s like I do, you can go to this Blockbuster, stay the night, watch some 90s movies, sleep in 90s sheets. It looks fantastic, and it is a great way to pay homage to what used to be the way to rent videos on a Friday night. But that's all the news for this week. Let's kick it back to Al.
All right, thanks again, Mark. And wow, Blockbuster Video becoming an Airbnb. That sounds really sick, except for those 90s sheets you talked about. I don't know if I want to be sleeping in some 90s sheets. That sounds a little, nasty. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, freaking fantastic. If you end up staying in that Airbnb and you're watching this video, comment down below. Let us know, what did you think? What was it like? We would actually love to have you on the show to interview you if you like to come on. That would be freaking awesome. All right, guys. So there was a lot of news this week, as you can tell. Hopefully you enjoyed everything that we talked about and went down for this week and enjoyed the show. Again, if you like this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more, ring the bell for instant notifications. Additionally, my wife coincidentally also started up a YouTube channel, so you can head on over there and check out her channel as well. She does mukbangs, and I have the link for her channel down in the description, so go ahead and check it out as well if you're into that thing. The weekly wrap up now is also on Instagram, so if you want to follow us on Instagram at the weekly wrap up, go ahead and follow us up there, hit us up, and we definitely would appreciate the follow there. As far as the weekly wrap-up goes, of course, you can follow Mark on PlayStation Universe, as he does a ton of work over there, where they have fantastic PlayStation news, keeping up with all the PlayStation 5 information as it breaks. Head on over to PlayStationUniverse.com. Additionally, you can follow him over on Twitter at LostHeroes13. For Mark, I'm A to the P Albert Perkins, and of course, now you have been wrapped up. We will see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.